Zambia did not reject a Chinese call to include multilateral lenders in the debt restructuring as originally implied. To understand this statement, let me take you back and give you a bit of a context of what's happening here. Hey, my name is Geraud Neema. I'm the Francophone editor of the China Global South project. And today I'm going to take you on a breakdown of a story that we've covered earlier this week on the China Global South project. So everything started early this week when Zambia Finance Minister Situmbeko Motsoekwane gave an interview to the Financial Times. In that interview, he was expressing his concern about the lengthy and extensive discussion that was taking place within Zambia Creditor Committee. To understand what's happening, let me here give you another background. So Zambia defaulted on its loan payment over almost 3 years ago now. So all its creditors, among which we find China, had formed a creditor committee to discuss how to restructure Zambia's debt. So last month, China included new demand in the discussion. China wants now multilateral bank, among which you find IMF, the World Bank, to be included in the discussion, which means that China wants them to also agree to take some losses in the loans they've given to Zambia, a demand that was rejected by both the US and those international banks. And those demands are taking the discussion longer than expected. And this is where the problem started for Situmbeko Motsoekwane, because during the interview, he was asked about what was his feeling about those demands. And his answer was, I quote, "Discussion at higher level like this just make our situation worse because what we are looking for is urgent solution, not discussion that may drag out the matter." And that was the problem, because it seemed that his answer was vague enough to spur some debate and question among pundit and expert about that. And shortly after those debates started, Zambia Finance Minister had to release that statement to clarify that Zambia Finance Minister was not rejecting China's claim to see multilateral banking to be part of the restructuring process. And you have to understand that Zambia's position is quite simple. Zambia doesn't want to alienate itself a country like China, because China is Zambia's biggest creditor in that situation. So by putting out the statement, Zambia clearly saying, I'm staying away from the debates and I prefer to let you, IMF, World Bank, and China, to sort out the discussion without me being included. That's why we had that statement. So after the statement was released, the Financial Times had to change the story and other media had to redraw the story. They wrote about that. And as it was expected, China reacted on the story. The reaction came from its Foreign Affairs spokesperson, Wang Wenbin, who on Tuesday during his weekly press conference reacted to the story. He blamed international foreign media, accusing them to attempt to sow discord between Zambia and China over this debt issue. And as we can see, the subject is quite sensitive. So far, China, the US, international, the IMF, and the World Bank are all standing in their position. None of them seems to be willing to move from their position, which is likely to drag the discussion even longer than Zambia is expecting. What we hope is to see next week G20's Finance Minister Summit in India to find a solution to this problem. But the tension between China and the US are really not giving us reassurance that we are going to see a solution found soon. In the meantime, Zambia will have to wait just a bit longer. If you like this video, please subscribe and click that ring bell to be updated every time we're gonna be sharing a new video. The China Global South Project is an independent online media that covers China engagement and presence in the Global South, in Africa, Latin America, and in Asia. We do it in 3 different languages: English, French, and Arabic. In the description, you are going to find the links and the details about our different websites. See you next time for another video of China in the Global South.